Mister Supranational CANADA, hello, welcome to the Super family. Happy to see you on SupraChat. And could you please shortly introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Well, thank you so much for the warm welcome. My name is Luis Portelles, and of course, I am your Mister Supranational CANADA 2023. I am 27 years old. I was born in the vibrant city of Holguin in Cuba, and I moved to Montreal, Canada when I was 13 years old. I graduated from the University of Montreal with a bachelor's degree in mass communications. And at the same time, in 2020, I started a YouTube channel around the topic of pageantry, pop culture, and interviews. And this is what inspired me to join a male pageant. So here I am for the Mr. Supranational experience.
Yeah, welcome to the Mr. Supranational experience, Luis. So great to have you here with us this year. Mr. Supranational CANADA, here's your personal question. Luis, you moved to Canada when you were a teenager. Tell us how this changed your life in a good way and a not so good way.
That's a very good question. I think that moving to Canada at such a young age, it forced me to be very flexible in the way that I have to adapt to change. Because, of course, it was not only a geographical change, but also in terms of culture, in terms of language. So I feel like that was definitely a positive thing. On the negative side, of course, I also had to leave some of my family behind because, for example, my mom's side of the family actually still lives in Cuba. So that separation was very hard, especially at such a young age.
Thanks for answering, Luis. Next up to answer our fan question is Luis, representing Canada. Do you believe being a pageant vlogger gives you an advantage or disadvantage in this competition, and why?
Good question. I actually don't think that it gives me an advantage or disadvantage. Actually, going into the competition, I see all of us as having equal chances of getting closer to the title of Mr. Supranational. And I think that that should be the essence of pageantry itself. You know, we all have different backgrounds. We all have different things that we bring to the table as well. So I think that it's important for the organization to consider those things in every single one of us. So yes, although I love pageantry and I follow many pageants all over the world, I don't think that this is going to give me more chances or less than any other contestant.
True. Thank you, Luis. Our today's general question to you, Luis, Mr. Supranational CANADA. Apart from being a role model for men, how do you wish to be a role model for women?
For women, that's an excellent question, Ivan. So I think that, you know, part of being a role model, whether it's for men or for women, is just to be an example that people need to follow. I personally believe that nowadays men should be considered feminists as well, you know, because when I think of for example, when I was growing up, I had so many strong female figures in my life that inspired me, such as my mom, my grandmother, my aunt, my cousins. So I think that it's important for men to also take into consideration those things. Whenever we are, you know, putting inspiration out there, whenever we want to influence the people around us, it's important to not only think about the male side of things, but also the female, because at the end of the day, we're all human and we're all in this together.
Very true. Thank you so much for your answer, Luis.